All right, so if you're a member of the United States Armed Forces or the police or really anyone who carries a gun for this country, I have two very important questions for you. Maybe the two most important questions that you have ever heard in your life. You do not need to have answers to these questions right now, but for the sake of yourself and everyone you love, it's best to start thinking about them. Question number one, what are the orders that you could be given that will let you know that you can no longer in good conscience continue to do your job? Is it when they tell you you have to go to Gaza and ethnically cleanse the Palestinians who are there by removing them from their home at the barrel of your gun? Is it when you're watching guard over a peaceful protest and they tell you to start opening fire into the crowd? Is it when you notice that the people that you are arresting are being sent to a torture camp like Guantanamo Bay without a trial? Is it when they tell you to start going door to door with your gun and arresting American citizens who are harboring enemies of the state? It could be any of these or anything else. And look, I understand that if you voted for Donald Trump, you don't believe me that any of these orders are going to be coming. And I hope you're right about that. But on the off chance that you are wrong, it doesn't hurt to consider where your line should be. And that brings us to question number two. If you do get an order that does cross your line, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to be scared? Too scared to say no? Are you going to rationalize your actions to yourself that you're just following orders? Or are you going to actually serve your country and tell the bad people running it to go fuck themselves? And once you do that, are you going to stand idly by? Or are you going to pick that gun back up and risk your life once again for your fellow countrymen? And look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you as a civilian that I have the right answers to these questions. I don't know what my answers to these questions are yet. I just know I desperately don't want to have to answer them. But we do have to answer them, because when that order comes, when you are met with that line, it's not going to feel like a massive step to cross it. It's going to feel like the next logical step. Because the Nazis didn't start with the camps. They started with a bunch of smaller orders that didn't quite seem so bad, and every next order was just a little bit worse than the one before it, until eventually the Nazi soldiers were putting people in the showers. And I think we can all agree that we would have liked the Nazi soldiers to tell Hitler to go fuck himself long before they got there. So again, I want you to ask yourself, what order will you no longer be willing to execute? And what will you do when you receive it?